Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Hey.
Hi, Jill. Do you know what?
What?
I don't take this the wrong way.
That means I probably will take it the wrong way.
But Jill, you look really tired, like exhausted.
I am.
What's up with that?
I need a break. Haven't had a break.
From what? From me? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, not from you. I haven't had a vacation since a year before COVID.
Oh.
So I'm really exhausted. I really need a break.
Yeah, I would.
And as much as I love doing this podcast, I'm really tired.
Yes, you look tired, sleepy.
Yes.
Your eyes are little slits.
Yes.
Slitty slits.
But I'll get through it.
So let's pick this up. Let's pick it up. What are we doing today?
Put some pep in my speech.
Yes. What are we doing today?
What are we doing today? Oh, we're talking about time away from your loved one.
Time away from your loved one. So are we talking about your partner, your spouse, or, your brother, sister, what?
Time away from the person you spend the most time with. It's part of a segment that we call
Stand by Your Stance.
So to answer your question with us, I guess that would be you. Time away from you.
Time away from me. I don't know whether I should have a problem with that or not. You want time away from me?
No, because
but we go on vacation when we go. We haven't been on vacation.
We haven't been on vacation in 2 years.
But we always go. But I wonder, because there's some couples that like the best thing they have to look forward to in the year is a vacation away from their partner.
I actually don't see a problem with that.
Well, go ahead. Continue.
I don't see a problem with spending time apart. Like if you want to go on a boys trip, girls trip, whatever kind of trip without the other person. But I do see a problem if you enjoy that more than the time you spend together.
Well, it is possible for the person to enjoy that more because that maybe their partner doesn't do those things that they do with their friends.
But you still should enjoy time you spend with your partner, your spouse. You still should enjoy that as well. Like you have your thing with them and you have your thing with others, which is fine.
And I agree. I actually agree with you. But here's the thing. When I was growing up and watching the adult couples, right? And I would listen, my parents' friends or, whoever they were. And I would listen to some of them say, I can't wait to have a vacation away from my spouse. And the reason being is they didn't like their spouse. They didn't like their spouse. They didn't like being around that person. They had absolutely nothing in common.
So why were they together? Oh, you said back in the day, back 1,000 years ago. When
well, it wasn't 1,000 years ago.
When people stayed together because that's what you do.
Yes, that's what you do. But but for me to even for you to make a statement that, they stay together because that's what they do, does that necessarily mean they didn't love each other? What does that mean?
I do know some people who say, I love my partner, but I don't really like them. And I think I know people who have made those kinds of statements. Because you can love things about someone and just really not like them as people. But I always think to myself, unless someone asks for my opinion, I always think to myself, well, then you don't really have a great relationship, because to me, the best relationships are when you actually truly like the person and you love them and you're in love with them.
Yes. So, well, Jill.
I didn't realize how rare that was.
It's actually rarer than I would think, actually. But in our case, you have taken a vacation without me. I remember you went to the Dominican Republic.
We're still talking about this.
Yes, we are. and I've never been to the Dominican Republic.
And it wasn't like,
and it was,
I came to you and like, I'm going to the Dominican Republic. Someone invited me to go on an all women retreat.
Yeah, so I really didn't. I joked about it.
And they billed it as much more than what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we thought it would be a good thing for me to go.
Yes. So yeah, you went, and it was what it was. It was very beautiful.
Yes, I had the most extraordinary room.
The accommodations were like incredible.
Yes.
Even though I wasn't there, I could tell from the pictures and your description.
Yes,
you're very descriptive.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But I truly did not have a problem with it, and I never for an instant thought you just wanted to do that because you wanted to get away from me.
No, that never even entered my mind that was the reason to go. And you have been on fishing trips.
Yeah,
if you know me at all, you definitely know that I did not want to go on that trip.
Yes, exactly. So it was just
but I'm secure. You're secure in knowing that we're not trying to get away from each other. It's just that we do these things with other people, and it's fine.
Yes,
because we are still, even though we're a couple, we're still individuals, and we still have our own interests. And I always say that my friends are your friends, but really they're my friends.
Finally, you admit it.
Well, some of them, like, you're their friends too, but most of them, they're my friends.
I like all your friends, but I don't hang out with them.
Yes,
like you do.
Yes, but you're perfectly happy. You're fine with if one of my friends wants to hang out with just me.
Yeah,
you're fine with that.
Not a problem.
Now, friends who are listening, you may hear Tony on the podcast from time to time complain that I never take him anywhere.
You don't take me anywhere.
He doesn't get to go to
Paris,
certain restaurants.
Yeah, that's right. I don't.
Things that my friends and I do. So, but that's back to the Tony that complains. Complains
about what?
Remember
anything?
Remember that conversation we had? Like, well, if you're going to volunteer for something, don't complain about what you do. So you're like, yeah, Jill, you should go with your friends to wherever, but then you'll complain later that you didn't get to go.
No, I'm just joking.
Sometimes you are.
No, I really am. And the reason being because you and your friends will go to a restaurant and stay there for 6 hours. I don't want to stay in a restaurant for 6 hours.
I know.
Don't want to do it. So go. Enjoy yourself.
Yes, we will go to a restaurant, when dinner is served, and we will shut that restaurant down.
Yes.
They're like, I'm sorry, we have to go home. Oh, okay. No problem. But that's how I am with my friends. I don't have to speak to my good friends. No, I don't have to talk to you every day, but you're still my good friend. I'm still, thinking fond thoughts, sending you love and all that. But I don't have to talk to you every day for you to know that. But when I do get to talk to you, we have a lot of catching up to do.
Mm-hmm. I see. But I would like to get back to what this topic is about. And
it's spending time away from each other. That's the topic.
So is there a line to where in one case it's healthy and then in another case it is not.
Yes. And I've been on the receiving end of both.
Explain.
So with you, I've always thought of myself as a secure woman. I'm not suspicious of what you're doing when you're not around me. I've never been with you. In the past, I've had reason to be suspicious of men I've been in a relationship with as to what they're doing when they're not with me. So
good point.
So it's not that I have a problem that you're spending time with friends. It's that maybe I don't like that friend and what I believe that friend does. So therefore, if you're with that friend and you really could care less that I'm around or not, then there is a problem. It's not that I don't want you to spend time with your friends. It's your time with your friends is reminding me of how you treat me.
So in a relationship, what I'm hearing is that the parties involved need to be respectful of each other.
Yes.
Like an example, there's an old friend of mine, and he calls me up and says, hey, a bunch of us are going to Rio de Janeiro. Bunch of men.
To Brazil.
Yes. And I said, nope, that's not for me. So what do you mean? I'm not going to Rio with you guys. You can forget it. But why not? I know how all of you are. And I know what happens in Rio. Okay?
Not for everyone, but with those guys, they definitely, yes.
Look, there's a particular type of man that Rio is like their heaven, or hell if they like to sin.
Yes.
And I will not be a part of it. You can forget it. Hey, you can be mad at me because I say no, and hell no, I'm not going. It ain't happening. Or you can just, respect my wishes that I respect my wife too much to put myself with other men in that type of situation.
But here's the thing, because I know which friends you're talking about. If you had told me that you were going, I still would have trusted you to be who you are. But I would have been upset with them if something had happened to you because you weren't hanging out with them. And I'm like, well, where's Tony? And I'm like, well, he was with us, but he didn't come out with us last night. So we don't know what happened to him. So I would be upset with the friends if something happened to you. But I fully trust that you're going to be who you are, whether I'm there or not.
Yeah, but being who I am is not going to Rio with them. Okay.
Exactly.
Not doing it.
Exactly.
Not doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So no, I'm not going to do that. And but I think it's vice versa. Either spouse, whether they're male or female, if you decide to go on a vacation that, when you really look at it, as being a kind of disrespectful to your partner, maybe you should think, maybe I don't want to do that.
Yes. Yes. If you always say to me, you never take me to Paris. And by the way, bonjour, our yes. French listeners.
Yes. What about our French listeners?
Oh, we would love for somebody there to start a fan club for us, and then when COVID enables us to travel again, yes, and we come to France, we'll come to whatever event you set up.
Yeah,
for us.
That'd be fabulous.
But we don't want to leave our American listeners out of the mix.
We don't?
No, because we have a lot of American listeners too.
Okay. So what are we going to do for them?
Well, what do you think?
I think we should have like a Zoom meetup, but it's the listener that can invite us to it.
Yes. So if you want to have like a group of your friends and you all are debating about relationships and relationship advice, invite us to your party.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll
sit
take
in.
it from there.
Yeah.
We'll sit in, listen,
That could be fun.
offer you some advice.
That could be fun.
But I guess our French listeners could do that too.
Or if you just want us to hang out with you on
Yes.
Zoom. It doesn't have to be a particular theme.
Yes.
If you don't want it to be.
Yes. But I started all of that by saying you have never been to Paris. I've been twice.
Correct.
And it would be really disrespectful if one of my friends like, hey, let's go to Paris. Like, bye, Tony.
Yeah, that one might bother me a little bit. Only because I've been saying I would like for us to go to Paris.
Yes,
so if the first time you go, you know,
you're like, bye.
Bye.
She didn't invite you.
Yeah, that might get me a little bit.
But otherwise, you don't have a problem with me spending time with my friends without you.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Absolutely
and
not.
back at you. Although
back at me, but I don't really.
You don't really go anywhere except fishing.
Yeah, and who did I go with? My cousin.
Your cousin. Yes.
So
which is perfectly fine with me. You all could do that.
When was the last time I went that you can remember? It was just me going to just hang out with the guys.
2019.
What happened in 2019?
You went fishing on a fishing trip.
No, I'm not talking about I go with my cousin. I said with the guys. That's
not the guys?
That's one guy, and he's my cousin.
Well, I've never known you to go out with a group of guys.
Really?
No.
What are you saying? I don't have any friends?
You say that. That's what you say. And then I'll say, yes, you do. And I'll name like two people.
All your friends. You'll name all your friends.
And two of yours.
Yeah. But no.
But that's a whole other conversation. About how many friends do you actually need?
Yeah. Everybody's different.
Everybody is different.
But as all the listeners know by now, I am a loner, but I'm not antisocial.
That's me.
You're not really.
I'm the antisocial one in this group.
Well, yes. Between you and I, yes, you are actually the one that's more antisocial.
Yes.
But
I do go out. I used to.
And I'm more. You also are kind of a loner, but I'm more of a loner than you are.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. I don't have problems. Well, I have to keep you from being a hermit.
I have no problem staying in my house.
You can't be a
hermit. I have
hermit.
No problem.
You can't be a hermit.
In fact, I do believe that had you not come into my life, I would be a hermit by now. I'm convinced of that.
We can't have that.
Well, clearly. Clearly you've gotten me to come out. I've been out a lot this year. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, it's not true. It's not because of you. It's because my workplace is making me go into the office. But
people do that.
Yeah. I don't see why I have to, but that's a whole other story too. But anyway.
So vacations away from your spouse. Good thing, bad thing.
Well, like you said a little earlier, there's a healthy way to do that, and there's an unhealthy way to do that.
Okay, now let's take this a little different. Let's look at it from a different angle.
I'm looking.
So we were talking, about just people taking vacations away from each other and all of that. But what do we do? And we kind of touched on it, but what do we do when that person's partner will not only approve of them going, to hang out with their friends or, on a vacation or something, but they will never leave their partner's side. So if that partner goes anywhere on a weekend trip or anywhere, uh, their partner insists that they go also. Insist.
Even if they weren't invited?
Yes.
Well, that's very unhealthy. Like, why? Like, I'm sorry, you weren't invited.
Yeah. Now, there are people. And
there are
I've
people
seen
who
it.
do that?
Oh, yes.
They still show up? Now, I've heard of people like constantly calling somebody.
Yes.
While they're away. So it's almost like they were there.
Yes.
I've heard of that, but I've not heard of actually showing up.
So let's say
when no one invited them.
Let's use golf. So let's say several guys decided, hey, we want to go down to Fort Lauderdale and play golf for a weekend.
Okay.
And his partner says, but I want to go. And he says, well, this is, kind of a guy's weekend, we're just going to play golf and, drink beer and, all that kind of stuff. Right.
Okay. He
said, but I want to go. But, it's just a guy's thing. But I want to go. And then she's, well, I'll just stay in the hotel. And they do that.
So what's the point of going?
What is the point of going? That's the question.
Well,
what is going on where she or he will not let their partner
out of their sight?
Out of the sight. They have to go there, even if they stay in a hotel. Now, all the friends know that this one person brought their wife along, or their partner along, and they know how he or she is.
Yes. The friends are always aware of that kind of situation. So I'm hearing two different things. I'm hearing insecurity on the part of the person who insists on going, even if they stay in the hotel the whole time. And then with the friends will eventually stop inviting their friends to come so that they don't have to deal with that.
Deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then the friend will be like, I lost my friends too. But they need to set boundaries, that couple.
Okay.
And if the person who insists on going can't deal with that boundary, as you would say, run. Run.
Oh, well.
Yeah. It's like, why should anyone feel imprisoned and guarded and shackled?
You know what? I'm glad we're touching on this. Even though we're just talking about separate vacations, but it brings up another topic. It's a little off topic, but it kind of joins to this. People, listen to me, people. Okay. If you meet someone and you start dating them and you start noticing that this person is trying to separate you from your friends and your family, and they want to be around you all the time and be a part of everything you do, as I say, it's time to run.
Absolutely.
Run. Because this is a person that wants to control
you.
So, and the moment you start going down that road and letting that person control you, because you have some responsibility in this also, you're on a good path to ruining your life.
Yes.
Because you'll be miserable forever. And then,
not forever.
Well, it'll be 10, 20 years later when the kids go to college.
You're going to have kids? Like, why even deal with that at all? One-on-one.
Well, that's why you have to run early. When you see it. But if you don't run early, and it's partly your fault that you stayed in that. You gave away a part of yourself to someone else.
Yes.
You gave
that power back.
Your free will to someone else.
That power back.
So don't do that. Because it's once you go down that road, it's hard to change that behavior. It's a done deal. Yeah.
It is. Well, let's get to our second segment that we call
Give it a rest and a resolution.
So that's your conclusion? Run?
No, that's not
if
my
they
conclusion.
try to control
That's
you.
like it was a little different topic. We're talking about vacations and
well, really, we're
vacations.
talking about having your own space. Some people don't respect that boundary.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
Yes, well, I do believe that in a relationship, you do need to have some space. You are
writing
still
studio space.
I'm ignoring you.
Writing studio space.
Yes,
I will not be ignored, as a stalker would say.
I'm ignoring you right now. Chill. But in any relationship, we still need to realize that we are individuals.
Yes.
We do not become the same person.
Just because you're in maybe coupled up with somebody, that doesn't mean you lose yourself.
Exactly.
It means you become, well, hopefully you inspired the other person to become their best self, and they inspire you to become your best self.
Exactly. So that's what I have to say.
Yes, I would agree with that too. And going back to something you said to me very early on, the only thing I've ever tried to change your mind about, which is you once said to me, vacations are overrated. Remember that?
I did. I said it.
I was like, God, change his mind on that one.
Yeah, those you did. That was the times I was a workaholic back in the day. I was driven by money and success.
Yes. So with that though, you have always, however, respected that I need my space. And I have respected that you need your space, even when we're together.
Okay. Cool.
So, when you going fishing?
Don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe someone will send me on a fishing trip, on a chartered fishing trip. I'm tongue tied. Maybe someone will send me on one.
Yeah.
I don't know, just to get me out of the way or something. I don't know. It'll get me out of the way.
I won't ask out of the way of what, but anyway, let's get to our third segment that we call
I'm trying to help you.
Any advice for our listeners if they find that maybe they just need some space? What would you advise them to do?
Well,
especially now when we're, constantly around everybody.
This is a little harsh.
Uh-oh.
It's a little harsh, but if you realize you need some space away from your partner, you discuss it with your partner. And if your partner doesn't agree with you, you take that space anyway. You do what you're going to do. If you say, "Hey, I just need to go away for a weekend to do something, just to clear my mind," and your partner does not agree, you do it anyway.
Yes. Yeah. I would actually
do it
agree
anyway.
with that.
This is what I'm going to do, and you do it anyway. You guys can discuss it when you get back.
Yes.
Because you got to draw a line in the sand.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
My advice is respect, set boundaries and respect them, whichever side of those boundaries you're on.
Cool.
All right. Well, we need to do some shout outs. Shout out to.
No.
Oh, we have a fourth segment. I forgot.
Yes.
Thanks.
I told you Jill was tired today.
I told you. Fourth segment that we call. So, what do you think? What do you think? Because I'm right.
Because I'm right.
All right.
All right.
So we want to hear from our listeners. That number is
404-594-2247.
All right. And we're serious about the whole. Oh, go ahead.
594-2247.
And we're serious about the whole, if you plan something and want us to show up, we'll show up.
Yeah.
It's virtually for now.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Shout out to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music, Nick Zinke for the art, and always to all of our listeners. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
You've been listening to I'm Right.
I'm Right.
I'm Jill. Cordova.
You don't even know who you are today. And I'm Anthony Cordova. Bye.
Bye.